Welcome, everybody. This is your favorite family member, Uncle Mike. And I have brought we are here to bring you another episode of Let's Talk About It. So, pretty much, it has been, I want to say, a couple months since the last time that I did an episode. You had the Christmas season, you had New Year's, and just so many holidays in between, a number of other things that have happened, but we are back. This is my first episode of the year. With this being the first episode of the year, this is also Black History Month. So by the time you hear this, it'll still be Black History Month, so don't worry. Um, Also, if you can notice, for those of you who are listening, make sure you watch the YouTube video. If you want to look for any of the Let's Talk About It content, use the hashtag pound LTAI POD, and I also have it right here. But again, if you're listening, uh, make sure you go over to YouTube to view the new hashtag sign. And also, I have on a shirt that one of my college classmates made. It says, "The mind is a terrible thing to waste." Basically, given um, she is a researcher of Alzheimer's disease. So, I mean, it's Black History Month. We do want to support our fellow African American entrepreneurs, and especially what Gucci and Prada and all them got going on right about now. It's definitely good to give back to our own. So I'm not going to keep hold you too much longer. We're talking about or trying to catch up from the last time that we met. But today's episode is titled "Just Be Thankful." So when you hear "Just Be Thankful," hopefully I'm not old, but I'm kind of old school. So Curtis Mayfield, Diamond in the Back, Sun Rooftop, Digging the Scene, that should come to mind. If it don't, go back to the books. Go go and listen to something and try to catch up on some things. But so I have my co-host here today, Eric Thompson. I'm supposed to have another co-host, Amy, but she had car problems. But I mean, the show must go on, right? We have to get it done. So I have Eric Thompson here. He's a published author. I'm going to let him introduce himself and go on a little bit further about anything that he may want you to know. And also, of course, at the end, you'll be able to follow his social media accounts and so on and so forth. So go ahead, Eric.
Okay, so I'm Eric Thompson. Like you said, I'm a published author. I started my own publishing company called Eternal Royalty Publishing, where I'm looking to just build more, drop more books. I only put one book out so far called Blame It on the Music. It's available on Amazon. I published that in May of 2016. So yeah, and I got some more work coming. I'm trying to put out a poetry book this April because April is National Poetry Month. So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Okay. Didn't know anything about National Poetry
Me
Month.
neither. I learned this year. That's crazy.
Okay. So again, you learn something new
Right.
every day. But let me tell you how we met. Or this is our first official time meeting, but we've talked back and forth. And also, let me say this too. I've been noticing, like I was on social media last week, and for some reason, comparing yourselves or all this has been a real big topic. Eric is my witness. I've been trying to get this podcast done since the beginning of December. So if anybody say that, all of a sudden he want to come out with comparing yourself or living your best life or however you want to add it. This is something that has been in the works for a minute. I'm just now able with scheduling, aligning and everything to get it done. So yeah, so if it's on everyone's mind though, I mean, obviously we need to talk about it. So we was going through, or not we were going through, I'm gonna tell you how we met. So I have a friend of mine, Keisha. Keisha is married to one of my fraternity brothers' brother. And Keisha supports a lot of the things that I do, and she uh, has listened to the podcast or a couple of episodes. And I think that you had put up a post like, what's some podcasts that I can listen to or collab with. Yeah, so he reached out to me, and I don't even think that you asked me like, could you get on? I think it was just, well, what is it about?
Right.
And then I went to your profile and I seen some of the things that you were interested in, some of the things that you have done. And then when this topic came up, yeah, I think it just fit. So that's how we, met each other. And today's gonna be an epic show.
It's dope too, because when she inboxed me right after she referred me to you, she spoke so highly of me. I went to high school with Keisha, so it was cool. It was like perfect.
Yeah. Keisha, she cool. She cool people.
Cross collaboration.
Yeah. What high school did y'all go to?
Clintondale High School out there in Clinton. It's near Clemens, Michigan.
Okay. I don't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing about it. Yeah. Actually, one of my job sites that was out in Mount Clemens. I was out there Friday. But all right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. So the way that we're going to do this is because there's only two of us, we'll just have an open dialogue and we'll go back and forth, just answering the questions and giving our honest opinions or reactions to the question. So the first question is the reason why I asked my co-host from what I have observed. So the reason why I reached out to you and asked you to be a part of this one, and the reason why I reached out to Amy, who is not here, because Amy, she works for the mayor and she is a business liaison for District 2, whatever that means. But she works up under the mayor. So, what it may look like would be deemed successful in some people's eyes. You are, from what I've just, seen on Facebook, and what you've just told us, are a published author. To me, that's already successful. I think when we think of success, that it can go under a number of umbrellas, and it also can mean a number of things depending on the person that you ask. So that brings me to, well, that's the reason why I chose you as a co-host, and that's the reason why I was thinking of Amy, again, who is not here. So we'll say, what is success to you? And it's a two-part question. What is success to you, and do you consider yourself successful now?
Okay, I would say, well, back in the day, what I thought success was just money. All right, you had a financial status but that's changed so much. I feel like success to me is just living authentically how you want to live, like being who you are, and going after what you want to go after, not going off of what anybody else thinks. It's just your definition. So it's a personal thing, I think, to every person.
Yeah. So how old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay, 30. I'm 30. Well, I'm 31. Damn, almost forgot. Yeah, so I'm 31. So okay, so we're the same age. I like what you said. The second part of the question was, do you consider yourself successful now?
Honestly, yes, I do.
Okay.
I honestly do.
Okay. You want to go into it a little bit more?
Okay, so it's funny because we talk about comparisons and all that. If I looked at it through other people's eyes, maybe not. But then I feel like I've done something that I didn't even set out to do. I didn't want to be an author. So I feel like I've accomplished things that weren't even on my radar. So in my eyes, that's success. And I've done things that, like, I made lists. When I was younger, I didn't set goals. So I've accomplished some goals I set as an adult. I've been doing this for 20 years. So I feel like that's success.
What was your when you were younger? Like, what did you say you wanted to be when you when you got older?
All right, so I played sports. I played basketball.
Okay.
I thought I was going to the league.
Okay. How tall are you?
5'9". Right. Well, yeah, you can't tell me. And that dream ain't going away tall. I'm 23.
Oh,
crazy, man. That's
Okay. So I'll give you mine, and I'll go and I'll answer the same questions. Success. What is success to me? The same thing that you said. Like, success is pretty much, it's in the eye of the beholder. Right. Pretty much, what is deemed successful to me may not be successful to you. Some of the things that I've done as well in my life, I wasn't growing up. I wasn't the one either who was like, well, I needed to do this and I want to do this by this age. And I always said, like you said, I wanted to have money. I consider people with a lot of money, and the crazy part about it is, it didn't necessarily matter like how they got the money.
Right.
Yeah. It didn't matter how they got the money. However, as long as you got it, you was deemed successful in my eyes. And I mean, it came from, I talk about my brother a lot on this podcast, who when he was around our age. You know, he was working good, all legally, had a number of cars, and I mean, just in my eyes, like, you know, he made it. Uh, so, you know, when I became of age, especially when I was in my 20s, you know, I wanted to get a lot of cars and I wanted to, you know, have a lot of jewelry and, you know, and I never necessarily knew what it took for him to get to those points. And I think that's the thing too that we have to realize is that we always have these goals. We always have, you know, what we think we deserve or what we think we should have. Um, but we don't know the work that it goes to.
It don't come from nowhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't come from anywhere, and we don't know those things growing up. So, are you successful now? I'm going to steal your answer as well.
Right.
When I say, you know, well, I'm asking myself, am I successful now? I would consider myself successful because just the things um, that I have attained so far in my life, um, I just it wasn't something that I set out to do.
Right.
You know, it wasn't something that I set out to do. It was something as far as like, I mean, I went to school, got a degree, came home, and then I mean, I said it before again on another podcast. Like my first 6 months to a year after graduating, you know, coming off of it, I'm like, I done graduated. The world is mine. Yeah, and that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. And so I base being success or I base how far I am right now is like how far that I've come. Yeah, from where I was at. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like not comparing myself to what I think I should have at this point, because we're going to get into that too. And I mean, if we're honest, we can definitely say that there have been people that we've compared ourselves to, and not to like you know knock them down or anything like that, but it's like I know I can do better than what they're doing, you know, or I know that if I had the opportunity that they had, I would do this with it, you know. So we ain't gonna get into it now, but we gonna go into it. We gonna be very transparent. We gonna be as honest as we can be, because what I was explaining earlier to Eric is that this podcast, when we have these different topics, the way that people react to them and some of the things that we say is mind blowing. So I'm going to continue being honest and continue being uh, a voice for people of our generation. Nowadays, a lot of I think is becoming more popular, or maybe it's because we're older, where men are able to express themselves and men are able to show that they have feelings and different things because yeah, it's so necessary, man. When I was growing up, um, you better not cry.
Right.
You know, you better not cry. And I have a 2 year old. I'm sorry, I have a 4 year old. I think it happened around when he was 2 years old. But me and my barber, who was in a barber shop, and he was saying, you know, my son had said he was scared to go in the bathroom because it was dark. And my barber yelled out, "Man, you ain't scared of nothing. You ain't got to be scared of nothing." And I get what he was saying, but we gonna tailor it. We go tweak that a different way. Son, you don't have to be scared, but since you are scared, let me show you that there's nothing to be scared of.
Or what's the reason why?
Yeah, or
not just telling me.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I like that one. How you gonna tell me I shouldn't be scared?
And if I shouldn't be, I am.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that. Oh man, I'm gonna rewind that back and make sure I keep that. But yeah, you can't tell nobody how they should feel. All right, so let's continue. So, do you feel that you should be farther in your career or your personal life? You want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
In my career, I feel like I should be further if I did what I needed to do. Like,
Okay.
it's more I could be doing.
Okay.
So I could say, yeah, I feel like I should be further, but that's up to me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's more work I got to put in. I
Okay.
can't say I've just been 100% full throttle.
Okay.
So,
And I think too that when we think about how farther we want to be in our careers or even personal life, because you didn't get to personal life, but we'll get to that one in a minute. As far as careers, um, yeah, you know, one thing I've seen, I'm a big person on interviews, and like I watch a whole bunch of interviews and self-help shows. So Tamar was on some show, Tamar Braxton, and then she was like, everybody always comparing themselves to Beyonce, but she was like, Beyonce gets the same 24 hours that I get. Right. So like that kind of humbles you as well when you get into when you get into that mindset of like, well, I don't have time, or I could, I should have did this or I should have did that. Yeah, we should have. We just have to make the best of our time and put our best foot forward. Yeah, put our best foot forward. So personal life. Now, again, we're 30 years old, and now again we just said that being now the cool thing or the end thing now is for men to express their feelings and certain things that they feel like they should have, or be able to be vocal about how they feel. And 30 years old, when I was younger, of course, I thought 30 was so old.
Oh man, you're not the only one.
I thought 30 was so old, and I thought, especially when I was 15, I thought that 30 was so far from 15, and it's not. So, as far as personal life, I mean, even when, so again, I have a son, a 4-year-old son, and I've had an episode about co-parenting and everything like that, or topics like that. I never imagined that I would be what is considered a baby daddy. Oh, and I hate that term.
Yeah.
I hate that term. And I hate the term baby mama too. My son's mother, she only get called a baby mama when she makes me mad. But otherwise, I keep it as my son's mother because I try to keep the respect, even when it's not given to me. That's another episode. Yeah, I try to keep the respect even when it's not given to me. So personal life, again, I just never expected to be, a baby's daddy. Have a son out of wedlock. But as you said, like I didn't necessarily stop what I was doing to prevent that.
That's true.
Yeah, I didn't stop what I was doing to prevent that. So every action has, a reaction and a consequence, whether it be a positive consequence or a negative consequence. All of your actions, for sure, you got two roads that it's going to lead to. Yeah, it's going to lead to one of them. So I'll answer about do I feel like I should be furthering my career? So I work in technology. I work for a legal aid lawyer's office. So I basically fix on computers and technology for all of the attorneys and clients that may come in with issues and that they have with technology. So as far as career, I believe that when I look, especially when I look at my resume, and especially when I look at all the money that has been spent on student loans, one, not to be able to find a job after I graduated was, devastating. And then two, when you are on a job and you realize like that somebody does not have the same credentials as you. Yeah. And then, I mean, to make it even more clear, the person that doesn't have the experience that you have, as far as training or schooling, but they have the experience as it relates into being on the job, they get paid more than you, or they get looked at quicker than you because you don't have that that experience as far as on a job, actual hands-on work. And I think like, well, shit, it ain't my fault that I ain't 50. Like
exactly. I can't fast forward.
Yeah, I can't fast forward being on the job for 15 years or 20 years to where I feel like I should be getting paid what I feel like I'm worth. And me and my girlfriend, we were talking as well. We were saying like, we don't necessarily, I don't necessarily, I don't think I would ever feel like that I'm being paid what I'm worth.
Of course. Because most jobs not gonna give you what you feel like.
Yeah.
What's gonna work for them.
Yeah. and it's strange because I, for one, I mean, you have your own business, so kudos to you. But I'm, for one, not that start my own business.
Man, I wasn't.
Okay, go into it. Go into it a little bit.
I feel like with that, because I have a problem with authority. And it's not like
Hmm.
I just despise, but it's like somebody telling me what to do, the way you
Hmm.
talk to people, like having respect. So on jobs, I always struggle with
Okay.
being on jobs. And with I didn't even set out to start a publishing company.
Hmm.
It was just like, I took this course and they talked about they like if you're gonna write more than one book, you might as well have your own company.
Hmm.
So it's still in the beginning stages because it's
Yeah.
year 3, but like man, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm learning as I go.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's so strange because I think that you always feel like that. You
Yeah,
always
that's
feel
true.
like that you just starting.
Mhm.
That you're not quite where you should be.
Right.
Um,
Or no one
yeah. When I mean, we, yeah. Because we have to learn how to pat ourselves on the back and say, in your case, what I got a book. I got my own company. And it's not about being big headed or
Right.
anything like that. It's just kind of like realizing where you are so that you can only push yourself to go further.
That's true.
Yeah, so that you can only push yourself to go further. I'm going to go down to the next one.
Okay.
And I think we talked about this, or you talked about it a little bit, but it was, do you believe that the steps you've taken have, it's enough to get you where you are, or like that you should have done a little bit better, that you could have used your time a little bit better? And then the second part of that question is anything you wish you would have done better?
One thing I'm gonna answer the second part first. I
Okay.
wish I would have, because I went to school. I went to Michigan State out of high school.
Okay.
Was only there for a year.
Okay.
So I wish that I would have utilized that
Mhm.
time and that experience to better myself. But at that time too, I'm thinking about it like I didn't even want to write then.
Yeah.
So I probably have a whole different path.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like you feel like you could have done something different, but at the same time, would you be where you're at? And I'm happy where I'm at. So,
Right. Okay.
What was the first question?
The first question was, do you believe the steps that you have taken have gotten you this far, or is it just like, or you would? I mean, it was part of the two part. Do you think you could have done anything better? Um, Again, with being young, um, a, a lot of opportunities are not. Well, being young and being black. This is African American Black History Month, so make sure I tie that in too. With being African American and young, a lot of to me, a lot of help is not given to us. We have to search. Um, we have to search a little bit harder. We have to make sure that we are on a straight path. We have to be more careful than others.
Which sucks.
Yeah. It's so hard. I was at church today and I was talking and I was saying that we, you realize that I want to say like the end of the segregation laws was like the end of that was in the 60s. This is 2019. So from 1960 to 2019, I mean, we've made great strides, but we still have so far to go. I mean, people getting killed just because of the way you look, and then they want to blame it on the stand your ground law. Then you have people who are being segregated against for whatever reason. I mean, and I mean, I want to keep it on African Americans, but you think about this crazy president and with this wall stuff, like how are we supposed to be home of the free and home of inclusion when you keeping people out? This place or this country has not only been ran well. The reason why we're in our situation is because of them trying to keep people out and not open up to what we needed to be. But that's my little spill on that. I ain't gonna go into too much into that. As far as me, I'll answer the question: do I believe the steps I've taken have been successful, or is there anything that I would wish that I would have done better? I think I think what I heard you say, or like paraphrasing, is that just being able to take advantage of or have a clear mind on what I wanted to do in the beginning. Yeah, earlier than trying to pretty much just sip your way through life
Right.
and not have a clue as to as to what you want to do. Now, when I was a little different because when I went to school, I just knew that I wanted to be in technology. What I wanted to do in technology, the school that I went to, they didn't have that major, so I went in a different phase of technology, but still technology. And again, I mean, I feel successful because I'm finally in a place where I'm using what I went to school for.
That gotta be the best.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it does feel good. Um, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that it took like just one day.
Right.
This stuff it took years and
Work,
oh yeah, man, tears and you realizing like well, when is something gonna look up for me? Yes, 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 yes. That's life. That's life. So, the steps I've taken so far, I mean, have been pretty good. I would say, really though, when I started this podcast, is when I really started pursuing something that was a passion of mine. Yeah, being able to be on a platform, my own platform. That was a little plug to myself. Being on my own platform is really good because again, you're able to reach people um, that you wouldn't normally reach.
Right.
Being able to put these episodes out and that you read the statistics that comes back from the platforms that you have them on and you see that someone in Iceland was listening, or you see people. You realize, mind you, I live in Detroit, but I went to school in Ohio. A lot of my following or a lot of my listening is from Ohio,
Okay.
and I'm not even there.
Right.
I mean, it just feels good. So I would say that I'm happy for where I'm at now in my life, but I'm more excited to see like where this is going to take me. Yeah, it can open up so many doors, and I mean, you with publishing as well. I had on the show before, well, a couple episodes before, I had one of my homeboys who I went to middle school with, Mo, and his wife is an author, and she has like a number of books that she's written, and our same age, so definitely motivation for us. Um, and like just to see pretty much just to see like that we're out here millennials, as they say, the lazy generation.
Right. Right.
Yeah, people out here not doing anything. We have people who are out here really making boss moves,
Right.
and what I about like not comparing yourself to others. What I really like is that I can't always. First of all, there's a million podcasts out there. I can't sit here and try to go to every single podcast and be like, damn, well, I wish, that I was like that, or I wish I could have did that better. And I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, I wish that I was telling Eric, I got to give me a better laptop. I look at different podcasts and I see the different lighting that they use and different things like that. And it's not, I've learned not to use that as like that, what I'm putting out is not sufficient.
Right. It's not quality.
Yeah, it's not. It still is exactly. It's just that now there's somewhere else that I want to go. Yeah, to strive for. How do you feel when when you look up? I've heard you say something like where I'm in year 3 and it feel like that I'm just beginning. But like what pushes you to continue, or what sometimes look at what are some things that you look at sometimes as like um, have you down for a moment, but you kind of pick yourself back up.
Well, the struggle with like, especially being an entrepreneur and then selling books, like people choose to get your work.
Yeah.
So it's like I can say whatever, I can pitch my best, and that you still got to make that choice when you're gonna give it. So it's like the thing that had you down sometimes is like it can go. It was days I've been to book fairs and all types of stuff where I didn't sell nothing, so I'm losing money, and like it's been times where I sold out.
Yeah.
So it's like an up and down thing. And that's the toughest part where it's like, and it's not nothing you've done to do that. It's just that happens sometimes. That's how entrepreneurship is.
Yeah.
Like, you might not sell anything.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that'll really have you like second guess, like, oh, do I really want to do this? But I just feel like what keeps me going is knowing that I created something out of my mind.
Yeah.
Wrote it down, became published, and like my work is all over the world as well. You know? It's making an impact as well, because like with the book, I wanted to first when I set out to write the book, I wanted to do public speaking, but I only wanted to do it because I seen the dude say how much money he made. So I'm not even. They like take something you good at, and try like public speaking is definitely not like I was always nervous. But I'm like, okay, write the book. I always wrote. I got awards for writing when I was young, but I never wanted to pursue that. But going into the speaking, the book, it had opened up doors for me to go speak. So it's like everything's lining up now.
Absolutely. The things that we do, we don't never see. We don't never see the end.
Right.
You know, we don't never see the end. Growing up as well, pretty much when I got into college is when I pretty much came out of my shell. I was a quiet kid. I mean, I really believe that everything that's in me now has always been in me. I do believe that, but it wasn't until I went to college and I was able to kind of like become my own person. Yep, that's exactly what it was. And like I mean, I wouldn't be so thrilled to get up on a stage or be in front of a mic and do anything. But now, because I've done it so much, and it's not to pat myself on the back about anything. I always say I give all honor and glory to God for how far I've came. So you know, again, it's not to boast and brag about how good I am or look at me, but it's to boast and brag about that if you want something hard, if you want something, you work hard at it, and then once you work at it, it becomes second nature to you. Yep. And you have to keep the right mindset. You know, what you just said too was like we talked about this in church today. When he was like, you know, he told me how much money he made just from public speaking. I was like, okay, well, I'm doing it. Yeah, and it probably had to grow on you because your motive for going at it wasn't right at the beginning.
And you looking at what somebody else did.
That
might not be for you.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, that's so true. That's so true. So, have you ever compared yourself to someone that you knew personally? I'll go first. To be completely transparent, I have a fraternity brother who does financially. He does extremely well in the same field that I'm in, and it's not as far as like a jealous thing or anything like that because we are the closest of friends, the best of friends. But as when it comes to comparing, I look and be like, well, we have the same credentials. You know, we have the same credentials. We have the same background. What was it that he did, you know, that I didn't do? Because I feel like that he has been in his career in a better financial position than I am now, and that I was in even 3 years ago. He's been in a better financial position way before me. So I will look at him and be like, you know, damn, we did the same thing. You know, how was his life flourishing better than mine as far as it relates to career wise?
Right. I like that though. I don't think that's a bad thing when you look at, especially somebody doing what you do. We all like look at what other people are doing, but you're not looking at maliciously like he don't deserve it. You're saying like, damn, how can I get where he at? I don't think that's a bad thing. At all, really. And it's like it shows you the possibilities. And like you said, you close to him, so it's not like you're not hating. Some people are like that, like they don't deserve it. Are you worried about the next person? It's a difference, I think.
Oh, it for sure is. It for sure is. And when you put it like that, I guess it's how you view things. You know, it's how you view things. So how I viewed it as I was comparing myself was again not saying that he shouldn't have, but it was like, when is my time going to come?
Right, and that's true. I think that's human nature. you get to do it, so you feel like I've been doing this long enough. I coach basketball,
Okay.
and I look at stuff like that. Like I was an assistant coach for so long.
Yeah.
And I became a head coach. I feel like somebody got moved up before I did.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
certain things you be like, oh. But sometimes what's for you is for you.
Yep.
That next person might have to deal with more than you got to deal with, or that might just be their assignment.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yep. And you're so right too, because as I think about like the reason why, I mean, I can kind of say that he's a little bit farther, or that he is farther in his career is because when I say like he busted his ass, like out of college, I mean, he was writing articles. He was doing internships that he wasn't getting paid for, things that I didn't do, you know. And to be quite honest, I didn't want to do those things. Yeah, I didn't want to do it. I couldn't see myself putting in 80 hours a week somewhere, helping somebody else get their goal or job get their goal, and I wasn't getting paid. Yeah.
I'm the same way with like internships or doing stuff because I'm looking at like y'all just getting free work.
Yep.
But sometimes it serves a purpose. Your free work might get you.
Absolutely.
Like you might meet somebody there that gets you to the next plateau. So it's like you said earlier, how you look at it.
Yeah. And just like how you say, you know, you may not get paid while you're doing it, but you meet that person that can, push you up. I mean, that's all you need. And I for one, am a firm believer that it's not always what you know, it's who you know. It's who you know, because I've been very open and honest on here before that, like, really, like all of my jobs besides the one that I have now, I've gotten because I knew someone. I've gotten because, I mean, my first job out of college, besides substitute teaching, was because the principal at the school that I was subbing for, he went to Central State, which is the college I went to. Yeah. So he went to the college I went to. He was like, "You subbing?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you know, do you want something more permanent?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's simple." And when I tell you, within a week, I had a full-time job. I had a full-time job working, and I mean, it was so crazy because then after that, like it just kind of like accelerated, you know, and it kept accelerating because of a field that I wasn't really interested in doing, but because of the people that I knew and the job that I was doing, it pushed me a lot further than what I had ever expected. So it was really good. I want to get back to this comparing situations. You look at not even as far as career wise, but you can look at even as far as your personal life. You know, you're thinking that things should always, I just feel like that. Um, I feel like that I should have this, you know, and that word entitlement, you know, get people in trouble because I'm a firm believer. My mom, she kind of showed us tough love when we was growing up. She showed us, or she explained to us that, you know, don't nobody owe you anything.
That's so important for people to
Yeah, don't nobody owe you anything. And growing up, you know, it was a hard lesson for me because I'm like, I didn't actually be here, so you know, you do owe me. You know, you do owe me, and to a certain extent, I knew what she meant. I knew that she meant that you have to work hard to get anything and everything that you want in life. And while, again, you know, you may get some you know, a lot of hits at one point, or you know, you may get a lot of misses at one point. You use all of those things to build and as stepping stones to get to where you need to get. And to this day, I follow that statement that she said. You know, don't nobody owe you anything. Now, a little bit differently though is that I would not tell my son, don't nobody owe you anything. I again, just about as we were talking about, just tailoring the words now.
That's important.
Yeah, just tailoring the words, and I would say, you know what, son, you just have to work hard. You know, you have to work hard to get to where you want, and not to my mom. I mean, not to put my mom down or anything, but I just feel that like in the days that she was coming up, just things were a lot different. You know, a lot different. My mom is 65, I think. somewhere around there. I should know that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You earned your keep. Yeah, yeah. You earned your. It was a hard knock life for real for them, and so I understood where they came from, and for us, I mean, we didn't have we by far wasn't me and my brother. We by far like wasn't poor coming up,
Right.
but I mean we didn't have like the latest and the greatest.
Right.
We had what we needed, and sometimes we got the the new stuff that was out.
Right.
Yeah, a little extra, and we was all right. I mean, we turned out pretty well. Um, so I want to go back into again. We're talking about be thankful for what you got. It's always easy for us to look at what other people have and say, well, I wish that I had what they had.
Right.
And as you said before, we don't know what it took. We don't know what it took for them to get to that point. Um, and it's very easy. It's very easy for us to look and point out, different things
Right.
when we don't even know the whole story.
At all.
Yeah.
I know that's real because I got a T-shirt line that I put out.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, well, I met these people through like putting stuff on doing businesses, like getting logos, covers for my book. And it's a T-shirt company. Their name is Enjoy Detroit, right?
Okay.
So
okay.
I talk to
S-Boy?
Yeah, S-Boy.
Okay.
I talk to Dave all the time. He like, man, so many people say they want to be where I'm at and blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, I make money. He's like, I got $30,000 bills. I got 50, 60. I'm in the red sometimes.
Yeah.
People don't understand that part of it.
Yeah.
You're just looking at what you see with your eyes, like, oh, everybody comes to them or they always busy. You know, understanding that.
Yeah.
That takes a whole other level.
Yep. So with people, all these companies, I'm gonna make sure because it's Black History Month. I'll make sure that I mention all these when I post this video and everything. But one of my fraternity brothers, he has his own logo company, and he was like, people are always asking, why you charge so much?
Right.
Can I get a discount? And he like, why do I got to give you a discount because I know you?
Yeah.
When you go to Walmart, you ain't saying, I come here all the time. Can I get a discount?
You go right in there and pay for it.
You go right in there, or you don't get it. You don't get it. Like, why do I have to compromise? For one, you being a friend, that's first. You being a friend or somebody that I know, and you want me to compromise my product for you.
Right. People don't look at the time you put in. I think a lot of people that's not business owners,
Yep.
they don't look at like, even if I charge you for something I do fast, like this might be material.
Yeah.
This might be just payment for my time. Like
Yep.
I could have been doing something else.
Yep.
People don't look at that.
Yeah. Time is money.
Yeah.
Time is money for sure.
Yeah.
A lesson that I learned from time is money is my mom, she had something like a plumber needed to come out and do something in the basement. The basement had flooded. When I say that this man only took about 15 minutes, and her bill was like $160.
Yeah. You look at that like, man, that's too much.
That's too much money. Like, I mean, like for real, shoot, you could have told me what you did and I could have did it myself.
But it's like that's the expertise. They solved your problem.
Yes, exactly. So I think we as a people have to learn, like we can't always, I'm not even gonna say always. We should, when somebody tells us their prices, especially when we know that they are an entrepreneur, and I mean we don't know what bills it take to to facilitate or to get whatever needs to get done for that. When we so quick to be like, well, can I get a discount?
I don't even understand how people are comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Like with me, I want to pay a little extra. Even if I ain't got it, I'm like, I want to let you know what you've done for me.
Yep.
I ain't about to ask you.
Yeah. That is filed, and you're right. People don't understand the time and material, and it may not look like nothing to you, or it may not be as important as you think. But I mean, you keep on giving away these discounts, and you keep on giving away fabric for free. Then you got to go back and re-up.
Man, and that's like that with our people. I think we naturally want to be givers anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like you feel like I think that's a part of self-worth, charging what you worth.
Yeah.
You feel like I can't charge this much, right? And then people around that ask you for discounts, so then it validates your
Yep.
It's like, yo, this is what it's worth.
Yep. and I'm already like going down. Like I really can be charging you more than what I'm even picking up. But oh man, that's another topic too. I know a lot of entrepreneurs, and my hats off to y'all because it ain't for me. It's not for me. Um, this podcast is about the most probably thing that I go into as far as selling something or being a voice for something because you have to have a nick for it. Like I'm not that person to um, I'm not that person as to when it comes to like selling something. The first time you tell me no, or the first time you're like, okay, well I'm good, I'm done.
That's how I was.
Okay.
And I still struggle with that.
Okay.
Like, that part, like feeling rejected.
Yeah.
I don't like a person telling me no. So
Yeah. Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part for me. And selling something that's creative and that's from your heart. It's like, but you gotta know it's not personal.
Yeah, it's not personal. It's business. It's not personal, as they say. Um, it's business, not personal. We think of, we just count ourselves out. We count ourselves out when it comes to, or we count other people out when it comes to like what we feel that, because what you're saying is, I don't feel that you're worth your price. And how dare I say that to you?
Right.
Yeah, how dare I say
you say I ain't got it, or I'm not willing to pay that.
Man, yes.
Audacity to tell me when I know somebody else will pay more for this.
Yes. It's not it's not right, and we got to do better. Because again, you go to these stores and you go to different places, and when they tell you their price, you take it or you leave it.
Yeah, that's it.
You take it or you leave it. You take it or you leave it. Okay, so we have already been talking like almost an hour now at this point. I always say this at the end of every video, so I know you're probably going to say something, but it just doesn't seem like that these hours go by so fast because you're having quality conversation and things that really matter and things that can help people. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Eric, and you can go ahead and you can give like your Facebook handle or Instagram, or if you got anything coming up that you want people to know about, you can go ahead and give that at this time.
Okay, so my Facebook is Eric Thompson Jr. Instagram is the same thing, but it's Eric_Thompson Jr. What I have coming up, I'm coming out with a new book called Searching for Sanity. It's a poetry book, and it'll be out tentatively. That's the date I have is April, so be on the lookout for that.
Okay. And for sure, when you get ready to drop it, make sure you let me know because we'll make sure that I pub it.
Okay.
So that we can get as many eyes and hands on it as we can.
Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Even that, I know I said we was wrapping up, but even that, people don't want to look out for nobody. People don't want to look out for people. But again, it's not a competition. It is, when you help somebody, we all succeed.
Right.
We all look out for each other. So again, I'm gonna put that out for you. So again, this is your favorite family member, Uncle Mike. I don't have anything coming up that I can think of. I'm going to drop all of those designer names that we mentioned in this podcast, as well as my T-shirt that I have on. I wish you guys can really see it. For those of you who are listening, make sure that you go onto the YouTube page so you can see it and you can support this cause. Alzheimer's disease, it affects everyone. It's not a black thing, it's not a white thing. And sometimes we think that it only happens to older people, and it can happen to younger people as well. So, Bree Seals, this is for you. Black History Month. I'm going to make sure I tag you into the video and into the post when I make it about the shirt. Again, it says the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And then if you notice, it has a picture of a brain, and then there's a hole in it for being the part of your brain that's missing. So, of course, make sure that you guys are following me on all social media. On Twitter, the handle is Uncle_Mike63. On Instagram, you can look up Uncle Mike63, or you can just search the hashtag pound LTAI POD or hashtag LTAI POD. for Let's Talk About It podcast. Also on YouTube, you can make sure you follow the page. If you search the hashtag, for sure you will find me. Or if you search Uncle Mike, you will find me as well. We're on Facebook. Make sure you like and subscribe to all pages. Also, make sure that you guys are sharing. If it's something that that you like, that you heard, you can go ahead and share the video. Go ahead and tag me to a post or whatever. Or if there are topics that you would like for us to discuss, if you are interested in one coming on the show, make sure you let me know. But for sure, make sure you send an email. If you go to any of those social media pages, you can find my email on those pages. You can give me suggestions. You can give me criticism, positive criticism. Don't come to me talking about what you can say, because this ain't that type of show. We all about uplifting people. So I have not been trolled yet, but when you get to a certain level,
Right.
it will happen. It just comes with the territory. Um, yeah, so if you got any topics, make sure you let me know. We'll for sure be recording again soon. I'm going to try to do better with coming to you guys at least once a month. I was on that schedule like in the beginning or in the middle of last year, but with the summer, at that time, the summer had came and then the holiday season came, and it was just hard. But I know that for my loyal listeners and viewers that, if I want you to remain loyal, I might have to remain loyal to you guys. And if you depending on me or expecting me to come out with content that you want to either talk about or either listen to and comment on, I have to be able to make sure I put the content out for you. So that's my spiel on today. As always, Eric, you got anything you want to close with? Appreciate you. Also, I always say, if no one has told you that they love you, remember that Uncle Mike loves you. Appreciate you. Peace out.